YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV. Yo, Tim Westwood TV going in. Kid Ink, you know, back up the spot. Yo, crazy from there to now. Yo,
Man,
leaps and bounds.
Year. Yeah, I'm
leaps
back
and bounds.
I'm back on the pretty much the same tour kind of round, less dates but bigger venues, man. And I think everything's just grown since then. And I only expect a lot from being over here, overseas, the UK and everything. But just the single, that just came out, me, pulling up here and they played it on the radio on the way here. That's crazy.
Like Show Me really ringing off. Sounds like you and Breezy caught a vibe together.
Yeah, man. We really got in the studio. We vibed out for about like an hour before starting working, just vibing out. Talked, chill, did everything, drank and all that, and then put the record on. I already knew a record to go with. Put the record on. He cut in less than 45 minutes, I feel like, and we just vibed out more.
So did he write in the studio?
What happened was I ended up bringing the hook to him, already written up, the idea, and he just he did what I gave him and then added more flavor to it, like added his own ad-libs and tweaked the bridge a little bit with words and stuff like that. So yeah.
Exactly. So but you wrote the chorus for him?
I wrote the hook with my man T-Fly. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he wrote half, I wrote half, and then we put it all together and made, an incredible hook. Yeah.
But it feels like, you and Breezy, really just vibed out, got in the zone. It wasn't like he emailed it to you and you just had to build it in Pro Tools.
Which it should be like this more, what I'm saying? But, usually people do the email thing, and that's how we worked before, but it was kind of like we live in the same city, 15 minutes away. The studio's 15 minutes away from where we live, so it's like it's nothing to really get in and have a session.
It's kind of more like the old school way of doing it, but it's more of like the realer way.
Better records. You get to actually talk to the artist and be like, yo, this is where I was going. Instead of emailing and getting something back that didn't sound like what you wanted, now you disappointed with the artist feature, and it's like
sometimes features can sound mad flat.
Exactly, man. From some really dope artists, like I've heard songs where you were like, yo, this could be amazing, just looking at the track list. And then you hear it like, well, that's not really for those kind of people. So,
It feels like sometimes, like, they can just get, because they're not in the studio, not get the vibe of the record, catch it wrong, or it just sounds like they're like emailing it over and they expect you to email money transfer the check back. You know what I mean?
It's really that way too.
Electronic transfer shit.
Nah, man, I like to do cash and in the studio.
Now, got the album out to drop?
Yes, the album drops January 7th. The single drops out here officially December 9th. And I'm really excited, man. My Own Lane, really just getting across, myself. Last year, I was the independent artist who was proving himself to, the underground fans. Now I'm proving myself to a bunch of mainstream fans. And I feel like it's a different, way I have to go about it, but still define Kid Ink at the same time.
Yeah. Now, being in the business, what have you learnt on your journey? How are things looking different now in the business to you? I mean, what do you feel about the business?
I've learned to, because my goal was always to, be patient. I've just really learned that is the key, to be patient. Stuff is all with timing and comes together if you just stay consistent and work. As long as you don't fall off and wait for it and continue to work, it'll come when you're least expecting it, just from you continuing to grind and treat, music like your 9 to 5. I felt, the days when I got I want to say just spoiled and didn't treat my job like a 9 to 5. You could see it, in the work, or you could see that it wasn't any music, or you could see there weren't any videos, because it seemed like I was chilling more. But got to get in the grind and keep it consistent, man.
And who are you rolling with now?
Right now, man, it's Alumni RCA is the label. We signed to RCA, and we're doing our thing over there. We got the EP that dropped Almost Home during the summer. That did well.
Yeah, that got a hit.
And, it's still actually sitting, my independent album's still sitting close up there, too. So it just inspires me to know that the new music is just going to be even bigger.
Any of those, like, early fans, those underground cats mad at you?
You know what, man? I see my comments, because I watch the comments and everything.
Pay attention.
Yeah, I see the comments when they're like, you could tell it's a difference, or he's trying to be like this person now that he signed a deal because he's using these kind of beats, or different stuff like that. But I'm just trying to grow. Of course, I've been getting bigger production and getting the same beats as the Drakes and the Big Seans and stuff. But it's not trying to sound like any of these people or anything. It's just growing as an artist, and as long as I keep the content relevant to Kid Ink, then it'll all come across.
Yeah, man. Fuck them.
Ugh. 2 words.
Exactly. Now, maybe 3 words. Fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Kid Ink, how would you, like, if cats wanted to know what Kid Ink, you know what I mean? How you see yourself?
Man, I see myself as just a pretty chill, cool, laid back dude. You know, I'm always high and just ready to do music and, you know, having fun. But
fucking aspirational, kids.
Right.
Fucking aspirational. That's
but
what.
when I get on stage,
that's what I want to be when I grow up.
That's when I get on stage, man, I feel like I'm a completely different person though.
Oh, for real?
I get real energetic, real hyper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just born and raised Los Angeles, California, and I feel like, you know, I try to represent that as much as possible, but still not be stereotypically under, you know, the West Coast LA vibes. You know? So I'm just trying to do a little different.
Now, we have a Kid Inc. lookalike running around the city causing havoc.
Yeah, it's this guy, man. He's been running around for a minute. He's still out there.
Yeah.
He has all the tattoos. It's actually 2 guys now. It's a guy in the States and a guy out here. Yeah, it's a guy in the States that has a number of the same tattoos.
So he's got the tats. He'd be smashing them Kid Inc. girls, you know, the fans. He'd be looking after them while you're away. You know what I mean?
You're welcome.
You know, be trying to get into parties as Kid Inc.
They got in a couple probably on some real late nights too.
Oh no, I was at the Big Sean show going backstage, and he was following me, and I went through the door. I said, "He's not with me."
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. I remember seeing the interview you did with Sean. But
At the Kid Inc. lookalike there, in his shine.
That was funny. I remember that. I remember Big Sean on that, and then the face he made after you showed him the picture. That was funny. I
saw a few fake pretenders at the show. Some kid came up to me and said he was Kid Inc. Introduced him as a kid. He took a photograph just to show you, and he introduced himself as Kid Inc.
As Kid Inc.
As Kid Inc.
Oh, I know Kid Inc.
Same tats.
I'm gonna catch you, man.
Shut up.
It's gonna have, you know.
Kid Inc. baby.
Words.
Tim Westwood TV, man.
Always.
Thanks, man.
Yo, what's good? This your boy Kid Inc. You tuned in to Tim Westwood TV. You already know we tearing it down. Subscribe to the channel.
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.